Deep beneath the Earth's surface, in the bowels of darkness, lay a labyrinthine network of underground tunnels. These tunnels were long forgotten, remnants of a forgotten civilization, and only whispered about in the oldest legends and folklore. Little did the world above know that within these depths, a horror beyond imagination lurked, waiting patiently for its next meal. It started with whispers, rumors of disappearances, and strange occurrences. People vanish without a trace, leaving behind only their echoing screams as a grim testament to their fate. The survivors spoke of enormous skeletal figures, their bones towering high into the blackness, their hunger insatiable. These grotesque beings, known as the Bone Eaters, had awoken from their slumber and hungered for human flesh. As panic spread, the authorities attempted to investigate, but their efforts were in vain. The Bone Eaters were elusive, striking swiftly and retreating into the shadowy recesses of the underground. Desperation grew, and people began to avoid the tunnels at all costs. They sealed entrances, posted warnings, and prayed that the darkness would keep them safe. Amidst this chaos, a small group of survivors emerged. Determined to unravel the mystery of the Bone Eaters and put an end to the terror, they descended into the depths armed with flashlights, weapons, and an unyielding spirit. As they ventured deeper into the blackness, the air grew heavy with fear and anticipation. Days turned into weeks as the survivors faced countless challenges, treacherous terrain, collapsing tunnels, and the ever-present threat of the Bone Eaters lurking just out of sight. They discovered ancient writings and etchings on the walls, cryptic messages left by a civilization long gone. It seemed that these skeletal horrors were not simply mindless monsters, but guardians of a dark secret that had been buried for centuries. Finally, the survivors stumbled upon a vast chamber, its walls adorned with ornate carvings and symbols. The air was buzzing with energy from another world, and they felt that something was going to happen. As they approached the center of the chamber, a blinding light erupted, revealing the presence of the Bone Eaters. Towering above them, the skeletal giants unleashed a bone-chilling screech, their hunger evident in their empty sockets. With nowhere to run, the survivors fought desperately, their weapons clashing against the bony frames of their adversaries. But it was all in vain. The Bone Eaters were relentless. Just as hope seemed lost, a sliver of sunlight pierced through a crack in the chamber ceiling, illuminating the chamber with its golden glow. Bone Eaters bounced back, their bones burning and disintegrating under the touch of the sun's rays. At that moment, the survivors understood the truth. The Bone Eaters have cursed souls trapped within their skeletal prisons, doomed to roam the underground forever. The chamber they had discovered was their final resting place, a sanctuary where they awaited release. The survivors, burdened with newfound compassion, embraced their fate. The only solution was to read a spell that would bring sunlight into this cave, but in return, they would have to sacrifice their lives. As their bodies dissolved into ash, the chamber erupted in blinding light, the darkness dissipating, and the underground horror vanishing forever. The world above remained oblivious to the sacrifice made by the survivors. Only whispers of their bravery and the mysterious disappearance of the Bone Eaters remained. To this day, the underground tunnels stand as a monument to the horrors that once lurked beneath. Some say that the spirits of the survivors and the Bone Eaters still wander there, their fates forever entwined. The mystery of the underground and the ultimate sacrifice made by those brave souls will forever haunt the imagination of those who dare to venture into the darkness.